Just a moment. And there's no public phones nearby?
The closest phone booth is down the coast. Sorry for the inconvenience, ma'am.
It's fine, I understand. Thank you anyway. I'm glad to see you again, dear.
The lady is distressed. Perhaps something more upbeat might cheer her up.
Please don't trouble yourself about me, sweetie. I was just hoping to make a call, but the Whirling's phone line isn't working. The union office probably has a phone, but I can't really get there, or to the phone booth down the coast. And Gary's phone is dead too. The manager was vague about it.
Why would he be vague about phone problems? This is something to look into later.
To let the young woman who's house-sitting for us know that we may be delayed. Morel, my husband, and Gary were supposed to get back by Monday night, but they're still missing, and I haven't heard from them. I was also hoping she'd heard from Morel. That's just it. This isn't like him at all. But you have more important things to worry about. Just some field work, sweetie. Morel is a highly trained scientist. But they should have returned by now. They were just going down the coast across the water lock to set a few traps. He said they'd be back on Monday. Oh, sweetie, it's nothing like that. Gary's as loyal as they come. I trust him with my husband's life any day. There's a nameless old fishing village nearby, but we've never had any trouble there before.
I can't say it's the best part of town, but I wouldn't worry too much about a pair of grown men traveling together.
The lieutenant doesn't want to agitate the woman. Do it. Find her husband. This will surely lead to a cryptozoological mystery. Some fringe science is exactly what's needed right now. Spice up that vanilla murder investigation.
Are you sure we have time to go chasing after bug hunters just now? I did suggest we play it cool, but... I sincerely...
Oh, thank you, officers. Truly, I'll be right here if you come across any sign of Morel. Oh, yes. A zoologist. A cryptozoologist, to be more precise.
It's a pseudoscience that attempts to legitimize research into mythological beasts and urban legend.
That's one opinion, yes. And people are entitled to their opinions.
My apologies, ma'am. I did not mean to undermine your hobby.
It's not a hobby, dear. It's a subfield of zoology, one specializing in animal species that are so exceeding. Searching for such species called cryptids is difficult and often thankless, and frankly, many scientists are too lazy to do it. Universities these days are rarely interested in supporting real research.
She's completely internalized her husband's struggles. They are her own. Sometimes the most charming thing you can do is be reasonable in your requests.
I suppose you could use a break and I could use...
One cryptid, like you said. One. This can't turn into some kind of cryptid extravaganza. We have things to do.
He nods, and is cryptids. Let's hear about... Ooh, tough choice there.
the gnome of Jeroma. Oh, yes. None of its victims survived. Grieving relatives never even found their bodies because the gnome's venom It was, reportedly, a small creature with webbed fingers and a protruding forehead. A couple of campers found it when it was already dying. They heard an odd wailing in the woods. It still took the gnome of Jeroma an entire day.
If the body of the creature was found, why aren't there detailed illustrations of it in science textbooks, confirming the existence of...
Alas, the first scientist who got his hands on the creature's corpse put it... Instead, all the venom leaked out of the creature's teeth and into the surrounding liquid, dissolving the creature itself. A poetic end, perhaps, but a real loss for science. Of course, dear. Oh, sweetie, it's fascinating, but
The lieutenant gives you a sideways glance.
Well?
Oh, yeah. Here comes the interesting.
Where other phasmids imitate sticks or leaves, this one's a living reed. It disguises itself among the reeds here on the Insulindian, hence its name, the Insulindian phasmid. Perhaps you'll end up co-discovering the phasmid with us, officers.
I knew it. We're gonna be chasing made-up insects with cryptozoologists.
It's not made up. It's simply elusive, so much so that most establishment zoologists doubt it exists at all. Oh, I doubt it. No one can. Well, some teenagers making out in the reeds saw one. They didn't know what it was, of course, but there was a brief article in a local newspaper about their encounter. Of course, most phasmid sightings turn out to be false alarms, but their description matched the Insulindian phasmid perfectly, and they didn't even know what they were looking at. Not at all. Why else would it hide itself so blend in almost perfectly among the reeds? Oh dear, I'm afraid I'm not explaining this very well. Morel can explain it all much better. I wish you could hear him describe it. Oh dear, I'm not sure where to begin. Well, his expression is slightly grumpy, but his eyes are always bright and curious, like a small boy's. And his palms are quite coarse from all the field work, but he's quite gentle.
It's always a challenge to describe the person you know best in the world.
Oh, well, he's a bit shorter than you, but with a larger frame, and he has longish white...
The lieutenant pulls out his...
One other thing, he'll likely have all kinds of field gear on him. Even we'll be celebrating our 16th anniversary this autumn. Not the most numerically satisfying anniversary, but I like the less obvious milestones even more somehow. Via dating agency, I'm ashamed to say. I was looking to get back into the scene after recovering from my accident. We hit it off.
She's skipping over some important parts. Perhaps you'll find out.
I hope I've been useful.
The door is closed. This door can only be... Still no answer. Still, the lieutenant, he doesn't like where this is going. A mirror hangs on the... This Postlavantore mail collection box has been heavily vandalized with graffito. The box seemed eat shit pig, fucked by the coon, and St. G with a crown have been scribbled on it. Jenny is a whore, and best set mailbox also. The mail collection box seems cathartic, thankful even. So do you. You shudder, then you swallow.
Yes? Hello? Me? No one. I'm just a working...
She doesn't really want to be... If she's such a working-class woman, why isn't she working?
Not all the time. Right now I'm browsing books. Even a working-class woman needs something to read. It is. I know you are. Mm-hmm. What with?
Her hands move over the book covers. The tips of her fingers look rough, stained with yellow.
My husband? No, I don't know.
Where is this going, officer?
She gives you a short nod and shifts her attention back. The woman before you. Just an ordinary wall. Nothing to see here. You have no clue. It's so many walls all over Martinez.
Hello again, officers. Have you come to admire my...
This door is made of metal and appears to be number 28. This is where the cleaning lady said.
Let's see if anyone's home.
This door is made number 28.
Let's see if anyone...
No one answers.
Looks like the young man we are looking for isn't home. We should return tonight after we have finished with our day's work. How about 9 p.m.? Tonight at 9 p.m., right here, apartment number 28.
The piggies have learned how to saunter up staircases. I didn't think you could do that with hooves. But here you are. Yeah,
That smell coming from her paint bucket. It's not paint. It's heavy fuel oil.
Red-dyed heavy fuel oil, intended for exclusive use in government vehicles, to be precise.
What did you think I was using? Aquarels? Sucked it out of a cop's fuel tank myself. Back in Jamrock.
She really did it. She's proud of it too.
You ain't seen nothing yet, Piggy Boo.
You're back. Good. What? More lessons in basic reality? My favorite part of the day. Go ahead, ask me anything. These are unimportant times, Detective. You and I were born after the dust had settled. 1,000th of a second too late. For the the revolution. It's quite easy. Every 100 years or so, our species gets together to decide what's next, who gets shot in the head, and who gets the mineral rights. It's a real kerfuffle. Those would be the communists. Generally speaking, 40 million people got shot in the head during the World Revolution. But the communists, they all got shot in the head.
She's not gloating. It's a relieved celebration.
Oh, and the anarchists too. They shot them well. So well, one forgets they even existed. Did they ever? Before they got shot themselves, they shot 2 million people. Yes, the Red Deluge. The Insulindian Deluge. Oh, lots of people. Even the king got shot in the head, or thrown beneath a horse, or drowned. Accounts differ. It was unceremonious. Just as well, he wasn't actually the king. Just the king's nephew. The real king abdicated and lived out a long and productive life as a venture capitalist in Grad. I prefer the term risk-averse. King Guillaume was nobody's fool. He could smell a PR disaster brewing, so he got out alive, him and tens of thousands of his wonderfully fascist kingsmen. It was a wild time. The liberals got the mineral rights. And by mineral rights, I mean everything. Liberals are usually middle-class people, Detective, or the remaining gentry, the beneficiaries of the pre-revolutionary arrangement. Some were rich enough to stay with the Constitution, with monarchy. Big mistake. Others bet on the revolution. They were called the ultras, or ultra-liberals. They didn't win so much as survive. We were the last ones standing when the war ended. Everyone else got shot in the head, remember?
We. She's one of them. Of course.
To foreign intervention, the coalition. Those people really took the mineral rights. The liberals took everything that wasn't nailed to the ground. The coalition took the ground. The ocean, the laws, and the people. The coalition of nations. Grad, Mesk, Vesper, Messina, Oranje, and Sjord.
There is bitterness in her voice, tempered with understanding. She is critical, but ultimately understands the cause.
The moralists believe in keeping everything exactly the way it is. They believe in mineral rights, and not shooting people in the head. At least not in the same manner and volume as the others do. They are the long-standing provisional rulers of Revachol now, the coalition government.
The rulers of Revachol, and also the world.
This is their zone of control. They embolden the RCM with crumbs of the same law they took. Technically speaking, you are a moralist. Of course. Not easy to be moderate about head shooting in your line of work. The turn of the century revolution? Don't answer it. It's a trick question. The revolution began in '02 on the Isla of Grad, though by the end nearly the whole world had gotten involved. It wasn't a who, but a what. A pandemic of Zarat, a particularly virulent prion disease. which the authorities in Grad proved unable to contain. Then Marzolf came along and overthrew the government. It made people overthrow their governments. Of course not. It was a highly infectious microorganism that destroyed brain tissue. The actual causes of the revolution were material. The pandemic only provided the spark. From Revachol and Grad? Not far. The world managed to cauterize itself. Marzolf's government was overthrown in '08, and the coalition crushed the Revachol commune 2 years later. It was the end. Why? You and I, officer. Our lives in the zone of control.
Something tells you her life and yours are not that similar. Maybe it's because she has a boat and you have that necktie?
No doubt. But we share the same time and position on the planet's crust. That counts for more than you think. A city-state divided into free market zones under the everlasting interregnum of the Coalition of Nations. And you, of course,
The clatter of typewriter keys fills the main hall of the reappropriated silk mill. Precinct 41. Chad Tilbrook presses enter. Outside, officer.
The zone of control is the third incarnation of Revachol. After the failure of the suzerain and the commune, modernity, they developed the marvels of the inter-eslary communication. Telematic milieus, radiation, colored plastics. Meanwhile, in Revachol West, the aftermath, 43 years. Hard to fathom mine. The 20s saw a decade of urban war, west of the river leveled, offshore platforms in flames. Still, it's regarded as an improvement on what came before. '08 to '19 was simply hell. The 30s? Things settled down in the 30s. Revachol East transformed itself into the world's largest tax haven, with the international community's blessing. For the first time in a long time, it seemed like things were going somewhere. No. It was a market mirage fueled by cocaine and quantitative easing. The 40s dispelled it like a cold splash, an Isla-wide hangover, you might say. Welcome to reality, baby.
From the looks of it, the 50s haven't been much better for the zone of control. You can see it in her eyes. Days slipping.
I've no right to be dissatisfied. This shirt is Barbara Muscova, this raincoat is impervious to rain and is guaranteed for 100 years. My daughters will wear it. No, it's just... we could have had so much more. Every one of us. If only we played it right. Good question.
No, her first.
So a quarter of humanity simply lost their minds. And how would you stop a prion, a complex folding protein, unlife, with the technology 50 years ago? Good hygiene. Really. A very moderate solution to an extreme problem.
It's those sort of half... When they failed to step up, Marzov and his party stepped in. In this particular case, maybe a more robust state response...
Opinions expressed here do not reflect the official position of the RCM.
And what is your official...
My position, ma'am? My parents got ripped to shreds in the revolution. I would have gone the same way. I was saved by being 2 years old. That's my position.
Understandable. They are what they are, anyway.
Not so fast. Who is she in all this? Ask her who she is. She owes you an answer.
A bird? A Svenicid? A flightless bird of the polar regions? Some sort of krill hunter? No, wait. You're an... Of course you're not, my dear. I'm just terrible. Ah! This is the pier of Rue des Saint-Ghislain, 33A, where the tenants have been kind enough to rent me a slot. Or two. A pre-revolutionary tenement. Old buildings are called tenements, you see. And new buildings, bâtiments. After les bâtiments nouveaux. This one used to be 8 to 10 stories tall. A real high-rise by the standards of the last century. Built to mirror the skyscrapers across the bay in the Delta. That was before the war, of course. Mostly the urban middle class, I believe. This was once primo real estate, before the cannons lopped 4 or 5 stories off. Splat, splat. Wonderful. The girl in the old lady rags. Looks like a sullen and rebellious member of a tea... Yes, you and I belong to the supraculture. We're common, the herd. The music on the radio, the food in the chain restaurant, those are all too popular for the girl in the old lady rags. She prefers a fantasy world, an infraculture with its own dress code and vernacular. It is an illusion, I'm afraid. There is no refuge from the supraculture. I can't. That's how simple it is. One may dye their hair green and wear their grandma's coat all they want. Capital has the ability to subsume all critiques into itself, even those who would critique. All right. What next? It's a neurological disorder caused by a lack of vitamin B in the brain. Symptoms include a retrograde amnesia. It's quite serious. You should get yourself checked out.
She conveys it in short, cold bursts, in case he goes down later, souring the entire portfolio.
It's not just me, Detective. All of Martinez is... Well, it's either bariatric surgery or long-term alcohol use.
Yes, and perform autoerotic asphyxiation on yourself with your funny necktie, out in the open somewhere.
She won't maneuver her way out of this one.
I am the vilest of the vile. A traitor. I am an ultra. Yes. I am the nether creature of the Forbidden Swamp. I pushed the king under a shit wagon and betrayed the revolution. I can see you thought we'd gone extinct. After all, no sane person identifies as an ultra-liberal anymore. Not in broad daylight. You're a...
In her green eyes you see a mixture of truth and self-satire. Forgive her, but only because you like pearlescent teeth and those light green eyes.
A devil, who being of great charm and guile sneaketh into the homes of the godly.
Beneath her waterproof raincoat and silk shirt is a body imbibed in numb 12 perfume. You are suddenly and intimately aware of it.
Steal, kill, and destroy. That they say we've been doing for over 4 decades. In any case, I'm glad we can remain collegial despite my scaly bulk, and my perverse need to infiltrate and betray both king... When the dust settled, the liberals were the only ones left to clean up the mess. By virtue of their survival, they were handed enormous power to shape the future. This was all our last generation, man. With due respect to our overlords, the eternal caretaker, I would not have relinquished sovereignty to the Coalition. Not here in Martinez, and not in the Stella Maris. Then for my daughters, we had an obligation to defend our sovereignty. We should have burned...
Dark orange flames reflect in her green eyes. An oil fire on the ocean.
Perhaps. My intellectual vanity will be my undoing. Yes, I suppose I am.
Seditious talk, man.
Yes. Whatever else I am, I'm also a mother. And a wife. Now, shall we return to reality?
It remains a mystery what you mean by this something close. This isn't about you. It's about reality. A strange coldness comes over you. It's on the tip of your tongue. A doubt of sorts already in your head. But it's not fully formed yet. You have to wait and return to this later.
Glad to have been of assistance.
What's this? We're getting reports of normal, reasonable, temperate, political opinions somewhere in Martinez. The air suddenly feels calmer, more transparent in a strangely tender way. Perhaps it's the hangover. Perhaps it's a temporary surge of serotonin. It's time to become a citizen of the kingdom of... It is not a place. It is a moment in time that can only arrive in increment. Yawn. You'd get there faster with a little. History's greatest catastrophes have been brought about by people trying to make the world a better place. Too quickly. That's the genius of Dolores Day. She recognized that progress is meaningless if its gains are lost because of instability. Real, lasting change can only come about gradually, increment by increment. Tisk tisk. Just because you live in the present doesn't mean you have the right. You may never live to see the kingdom of conscience. What benevolence. What a fucking joke. Do you believe the status quo is preferable to chaos and bloodshed? There you have it. Sometimes holding the line is progress. The kingdom is difficult to comprehend, and even more difficult to describe. Partly because humanity will need to discard many of the categories that define and limit it. It's also post-industrial, post-ideological, and even post-sexual. Slow down, Mr. Reasonable. Did you miss the part about compromise? That's right. Remember, real democracy is just around the corner for Revachol. When that real democracy kicks in, a long time. The dented yellow mailbox greets...
Fuck, does Kuno care?
What's going on? Is an ungovernable youth on your crime scene. Like you don't have enough on your plate. You feel a sudden surge of self-pity coming on.
Trying to fuck at the Kuno. Kuno gonna fuck.
Normal is not what we got here. You've got to work with what you have.
The fuck do you want with it? Is it? Whatever, piggy. Good call, Pigmeister.
There are several footprints in the mud, left by work boots. 8 pairs of boots have shuffled back and forth. 1. Is it? 2. 3. 4. 5. 6. Better. 7. The glove. 8. Another standard work boot. Number 44. There's an aberration in the pattern of the sole. The right sole is smoother, more worn.
7 sets of tracks, right? The Hardy Boys were here.
Note a leader like Titus doesn't let one of his guys out of sight.
I'm guessing I could still be wrong. 200?
He might be right. 200 kilograms of living weight.
Possibly, yes. Interesting. Someone operate.
He regrets it the moment he says it.
I don't know why I said that.
The lieutenant.
Perhaps it could be a driver. A driver would wear out the right shoe before the...
He doesn't see.
We should keep our eyes open around the traffic jam. See whether it... A week, maybe?
It is not.
I pulled last week.
Correct again. Sub-Zero.
What do I... Then, after...
Indeed.
So far...
Of course, there were 8 tracks. But there are only 7 Hardy Boys.
There's 1 pair missing. Yes. I doubt the Hardys are going to...
Inside, you see a set of steering levers, a radio microphone, a pull-out toolbox, and the soft glow of the fuel preheater gauge.
Alright. Ready? I turn, you press start.
He's downplaying his excitement. The lieutenant is more than... The dashboard lights up with orange glow. The rails begin to page. The lights unfold with a little click, casting
There you go. I'll turn them off from the remote once you're done. We just need to stand in front of the machine now.
As you hold your ledger's clip under the headlamp, an iridescent hologram appears. A street grid and the veins of it.
There she is. Revachol West.
Around the borders of the watermark are dozens, no, hundreds of micro-perforations. The rectangular watermark is overlaid with the logo of the RCM, and yet the major arteries of Revachol are all recognizable. They shimmer in the Kanema's headlights. A rat brazenly darts past you and disappears amongst the stopped lorries. In the distance, a child somewhere
Martinez. Let me see. Right here. No, it does not.
There are many of them, and they are divided into 3 separate rows. The first row has 18 dots. Not bad for what? You don't even know what it means yet. The next is the longest. It runs all the way around the border, and then some. There are so many, it's hard to count. The last row has 3. That's it.
Those are perforations. They represent your record as an officer of the RCM. They are your statistics, as it were. I should have guessed you'd keep a record.
Son, here is where we score your life performance.
The first row represents your years of service. 18 years. Okay, not bad at all. What did you do before you volunteered? That's what it says. I might have guessed even longer based on your age. What did you do all those blissful years? Yes, that does seem quite likely. Your youth coincided with some heady day. This next row, the one that wraps all the way around, is your number of closed cases. Closed is good. It means, wow, more than 200. It's quite a lot, even for someone who's been on the force for nearly 2 decades. Usually, clearing more than 10 cases a year puts you in the 90th percentile of all RCM officers. Call it what you want. You are a valuable man. Right. Those are your confirmed kills. You've got precisely 3 perforations there. For an RCM officer, especially Precinct 41, which is in the... There are certain officers who treat their kills like some kind of ghoulish game. If they do happen to solve a case, it's usually by accident. But it seems as though you are, or at least were, one of the good ones. So we have that to be thankful for. Everyone has their own method of coping. Some more effective or self-destructive than others. Personally, I find it helps to keep up a few hobbies. Oh, this and that. Let's not get it. Why not gardening? You've already got the gloves.
It's meant in earnest. Please don't mistake it for a jab.
Yes.
It's not a problem for him to state it, however. The lieutenant nods.
Right. I'll go turn off the lights.
15th Indo tribe.
Still here. Stuck in this damn jam, my man. What's up?
An old monument stands in the middle of the traffic island, pointing toward the sea. It looks as if the more you ask yourself, the less you know. One thing is for certain, though. A silver plaque on the statue's pedestal. The woman is still hunched.
Huh? What is it?
Right to work! Right to work! Shame on you! We were promised work. We'd be in there. Main gate's locked. And I don't mean the scrawny mess punk either. I mean head measurer. Yeah? That's bad. Standing on a narrow bridge. I don't know how the Union has a trained killer up there. But that one's no joke. And my men are tired and hungry. Their work. Why don't you go arrest them instead?
It would be better for the neighborhood if you went home.
No! They will give up eventually.
Hold on, Wandering Man. How can I help you?
The unpromising race pupil returns. I am not the first line of defense. I am the last. In addition, these so-called Hardy boys are an effeminate clique of bodybuilders. Their company is spiritually degraded. The Hardy manlets are on the pay of the company. I answer to the Union alone, and I do this out of race heroism. Finance is an alien concept to the Seminoles. Now leave me be. I must luxuriate in the company of my woman. There is nothing funky about it. I cannot possibly imagine. You could push him by asking him to show you the soles of his boots. He definitely looks like someone capable of a lynching.
Been admiring the stompers, right?
On the bottom of the man's boots, you see an intricate tangle of treads with no immediately discernible pattern.
It's Revachol. Custom made. Cost me a You'll see when the time comes, officer. True patriots.
Okay, well, technically, you're stomping on Revachol every step you take.
Huh. I know you people don't understand poetry. Drugs? They're shit, man. I don't let anything pollute my body. You know where that shit comes from? Sarah Miriza, Safre, Ilmara. They take the money from our local junkies here and then use it to outcompete us in the manufacturing sector. They know they can't beat us in a fair fight, so they have to get us to weaken ourselves somehow. It's racial sabotage, racial economic sabotage. I don't go for that foreign piss. Proper booze is made in Mundi. Or sometimes, I like a dram of that Yugograd vodka. Koikos and worse much, but they do no booze. Not in, not out.
So you're telling us that you don't know it?
I don't know shit. And if I did, I wouldn't tell you. What do you think? I can't leave the lorry unguarded. Stuff's been getting looted lately. It's those little kips sneaking around at night.
There was a bunch of spilled boxes in the back of a big lorry nearby.
Yeah, I knew that guy. He was an honest driver who loved this country. We were having a good debate about genetics at the Wheeling in Rags. When some kip... Since he left, I haven't had anyone to talk to. It's a fucking travesty, is what it is. Isn't it obvious? Fucking Sealang, that beady-eyed South Samaran. His little side business is a scam. I wouldn't be... He's a Samaran guy who likes to pretend he's some kind of businessman. Really, he's just selling his employer stuff. Stuff he stole after he broke. Just follow the smell. It smells like apricot and...
Yes, yeah.
Looks like I offended your partner there. Too bad. Sealang's usually a little bit south of here, near the... His tribe are natural liars. It's in their blood. He's your...
I wouldn't be so sure about it. Not until we've heard.
Guess so.
Still here, stuck in this damn jam, my man. What's...
Inside, you see a set of steering levers, a radio microphone, a pull-out. The white suede feels luxurious under the touch, and the metal clutch handle so very familiar. As you tap on the gauge, the indicator pin just...
No, that's enough fun with the foldable headlights. I know they are mesmerizing. They're also fragile. I'm not going to turn it on for you again.
This is Precinct 57. How may I assist you? Sure, officer. What's the number? And the make of the armor, if you know it. Got it. I'll contact the ICP database immediately. Call back tomorrow. Hopefully they'll have dug up something useful by then. The International Collaboration Police? They keep detailed records of all military technology produced by licensed manufacturers. That's one of the reasons the Moral intern spearheaded the creation of the ICP in the first place. Of course. What is her number, officer?
Yes, hold on. Her number is 005.
Received. Hold on, officer.
Give it a minute. She might be...
Officer, I have Sylvie Malaika on the line for you. Yes, hello? Oh, right. Hello, officer. What can I do for you?
You can hear resentment in her tone. There is no resentment in her tone. She wants you to ask her out. No question about it.
You mean, why did I leave the bar? Honestly, I'm not really comfortable discussing it with you, sir. What? No, why would you even think that? Please, don't bring... I already said I don't want to talk about this. You're messing everything up again. You mean, why did I leave the bar? Let's just say I left because I needed to get away from someone. You know who.
You think you hear a sliver of accusation in her words.
I really don't want to talk about this. Let's just forget about this, okay? Maybe, I don't know. I just know I have to take some time off right now. No, not me. No, sorry, I don't. Not a lot of people have phones around here. People don't have the money to have the cables put in again. They use the Union's phone, or the one on the...
It was someone else. We'll find them sooner or later, officer. It just might take a while.
What? Of course it bothered me. But I thought the Union already knew about the corpse. No one calls the police. The Union would get angry. You know, what the Union says goes. People listen to them and they take care of their own, which is like...
Garbage.
I didn't want...
Push her further. No, don't push her. It sounds as if she's about to cry.
The other people who live around here...
Her voice is resigned and weak.
You don't live here. You don't understand. Squealing? Please, I just didn't want any trouble. You do? Oh. What else can I do for you? Yeah, go on. Yes, I know who you are. You're a police officer. The law. You told me back in the whirling. Oh.
Real policemen have uniforms too, by the way. Where's yours? He's in plain clothes, voluntarily. It's different from... There are officers who wear the signature Perseus black uniforms to the highest ranks in the RCM and end up buried in them as well. Others do it more.
Please, no. Not this again. Everyone saw your cool gun detective. You were trying to impress some people with it. Everyone was eating and... You were waving it around in everyone's face, begging them to describe it. You said it calms you, and then you...
Some poor sod was trying to eat his pudding while you were screaming, spit flying, imitating the mercy shot right next to him. Spat some in his food. I don't think he touched it after.
Me neither.
There is silence on the other end of the line.
No idea. All I know is next you were waving around money instead, saying things like big bucks cannot lie and guns can't buy money, but money can always... It almost looked like you pawned it. But believe me, I did not ask. Uniform? I never saw you in any uniform. You had your things on. The disco things. Well... You tried to jam it down the toilet, sir, clogging it completely. After I had unclogged the toilet and retrieved the paperwork, I threw it out in the trash, thinking you didn't need it. I am sorry about that. Anything else, Detective? I do hope so. Please, don't call me again. Bye.
Yes, you have obviously done something to upset her at the Whirling in Rags when she was still working there.
I'm not mad, it's just... You were so drunk and so emotional all the time, and then the skua thing happened. It just made me want to quit. The stuffed bird, the great skua. You threw it against the wall while screaming, "Fuck that bird," and laughing like a maniac. I think you said it had been giving you shit ever since you got there. Didn't seem like you had fun doing it, though. Yes, obviously. You were the worst client I've ever seen. And I have seen so many assholes in this place. I've had sailors fighting, union guys grabbing my ass, kids stealing booze. Once a guy was glued to the karaoke machine every night for 2 months. But you... well, you were worse than all of them. Honestly, you were getting borderline aggressive. Even about little things like not turning down the volume at 3 a.m. I even liked one of those songs you kept listening to on repeat. No more. I hate it now. We Go On by the O.O. I can't listen to it anymore. You've turned it into a parody. To hell with that. Then there was your room. Your project. An experiment to see how bad it can get in there. I tried to send the cleaner, but you wouldn't let me. Threatened to make me understand. I hadn't... And then screamed something about how you're a piece of shit human being and why does anyone even let you work as a policeman? That you'd fire yourself, but you can't even do that. And then I had to deal with your toilet. The one you clogged with police documents, causing water... I won't even mention you waving your gun around, harassing customers, threatening to sing karaoke. No, you really weren't. You were simply the worst. God, I knew I shouldn't have brought it up. Just try not to call me again, and let's pretend it never happened. All sorts of things. From disco, which one would that be? Sad? I think the one you mean is the smallest church in San Sans. Richard...
Interesting. You still have to find it, however.
Wait, really? No. No. I was actually flattered. I've always liked him. It was just bad timing.
There's a pause. You can almost see her on the other side. The telephone cord coiled around.
I didn't know what to say to him later. Then you came and destroyed the place. So I left without explaining. Okay, but please don't mess it up. Please don't take out your gun or something.
You hit.
Anything else I can help you with, officer? No, and I doubt they'll get back to me before tomorrow morning. 57.
In the cabin, you see a set of steering levers, a radio.
This is the Kupris Kinema. My motor...
Motor carriage, motor carriage. Something bad with a motor carriage. A dark lump rises in your throat.
No, I'm afraid not. We have a murder case on our hands, remember?
Nothing, nothing. It's probably nothing. Forget I brought it up. Please proceed with the carefree lollygagging.
The Kupris motorcar does provide most of our patrol vehicles, yes. Yes, sorry about that. The Kupris Kinema does have...
He says it with very badly concealed pride. In the cabin, you see a...
Looks like the circus left town, but the clowns are still here. What are you talking about? Or what? You want to be...
Actually, boss, we've been talking and we think she could maybe...
This person Glenn wants to hire, he really
Shut the fuck up, Glenn!
So let me get this straight. There is an Ace Hardy boy. It's a she, and you don't like us talking about her.
That's right. We're not talking about this. This is a private Hardy Boys matter. Nothing to do with your shit. And you're not cops here. Don't go digging around if you don't want...
Good. We are all watching each other.
There's no point in pushing it further, he thinks. This is already a victory. We'll learn more about this 8th Hardy sooner or later. Establish authority. Yes. Authority. Feverish thought. Did you already try the gun thing? You're probably right. The others are only there for filler. To make the gun thing pop.
Stop shitting your pants. The law.
Yeah. Aren't you listening? It's done. Finito.
No, asshole. You're no...
Stop yelling about the goddamn law in my establishment!
Let's just all cool off. We had some questions, that's all.
Looks like the circus left town, but the clowns are still here. Or...
Actually, boss...
This person Glenn...
Shut the fuck up!
So let me get this...
That's...
Good.
There's no point in pushing it further, he thinks. This is already a victory. We'll learn more.
The law.
Yeah. Aren't you listening? It's done. Finito.
For God's sake! They're not going to give you anything. Can't you see? I can't have a police interrogation in here. People are trying to eat. Of course it...
Easy, babes. What is this? I can't have a...
We are deep in...
Everyone can see you picked some wrong options. Next time you have to come up with better things to say.
Looks like the circus left town, but the clowns are still here. Or
actually, boss.
This person.
Shut the.
So
that's right. You're not
good. There's no point in pushing it further. He thinks this is already a victory. Establish.
Stop shitting your.
Yeah. Aren't you listening? It's done. Finito.
What?
Are you?
I've got nothing to say to you. Why are you wasting your time?
Looks like the circus left town, but the clowns are still here. Or what?
Actually,
this
Shut the fuck up!
So let me get this straight.
That's right. You're not cop.
Good.
There's no point in pushing it further, he thinks. Establish authority. Yes. Authority. Feverish thoughts race through your mind.
What?
This, I'm afraid, is not what you think it is.
What in the name?
Bad.
The fuck is...
Easy, Shanks. I want to see where this is going.
Police, be careful.
Good. Now put it in your mouth.
What are you doing?
Genuine.
Fellas, you getting any of this?
Wilson.
Yeah.
You won't, man. His fucking balls ain't big enough.
Bella.
No, that is not...
He's not...
No.
2. No. Give it to Luke.
Ratan, we can't have any fun if you kill yourself!
Thank you. Nothing to worry about here, people. My partner likes to...
He is infinitely grateful to have that gun back.
Dark? What the fuck was that, you carnies?
I knew he wasn't gonna...
No. I still have my money on him. Sooner or later, he has that look.
Do not think your failed suicide attempt will win you.
Again, it was a dark joke. Maybe we should go for a little walk, Joker?
Yes. Get the serotonin running. Keeps those bad thoughts away.
Looks like the circus left town, but the clowns are still here.
Actually,
this...
Shut the fuck...
So let...
That's right. We're not talking about this. You're not
Good.
There's no point in pushing it further.
I've got nothing to say to you. Why are you wasting your time? I am not.
You could be Liz. You could be anything. You could even be a model.
Even a mod? Glenn, I went to law school. I am an attorney.
He's right. With a face like that, she could be on the cover of Le Debutante International.
So fucking what? Lots of models are actually real.
No, Glenn, they aren't.
It's not her. She's not a hardy girl. Definitely.
Looks like the circus left town, but the clowns are still here.
Establish authority. Yes. Authority.
Stop shitting your pants.
Yeah. Aren't you listening? It's done. Finito.
They're not going to give you anything. What is your...
Easy, babes.
We are deep.
Everyone can see you picked some wrong options. Next time you have to come up with better things to say.
Can I help you? Got the 20 real? Then why are you wasting my time and your... Wait, what? But what about the bird? Yes, the bird. I found it lying on the floor with a broken wing the morning she left. You broke the skewer!
I assure you it was him.
It's as if he can't decide whether to be angry or relieved that it was you. Again.
Why on earth did you have to break the skewer? I can't believe it. I was so sure it was Sylvie. Even worse, I thought she was trying to send me a message.
A tender type of hope. Something stirs in you. Perhaps this is...
All right. Did she say anything else? About me, you know? Did she say anything about me? Really? I should give her a call then. Thanks, I guess. Was there anything else?
Or can you give him a moment? Somehow you realize this is not going to net you any professional discounts. Already he's reverting back to defensive. Rigorous self-critique. Here it is. Hard facts from the man you are. You once jerked off in the locker room and were caught. You held a young woman by the arm and kept her in your apartment for 20 minutes against her will. That's right. These are not flights of fancy. These are real deeds, Harry, emerging from the darkness of your past. You tried shooting a fleeing suspect in the foot, but hit him in the pelvis, crippling him for life. And, above all, you let life defeat you. All the gifts your parents gave you, all the love and patience of your friends, you drowned in a neurotoxin. You let misery win, and it will keep on winning till you die. Or over...
Looks like the circus left town, but the clowns are still here.
This time it's going to work. You already ruled out the first bad option that didn't.
And what exactly is it you've been doing that's so all the while talking racist shit? Don't think we aren't watching, fascia. People here trust us. We're getting complaints. Of course you have. You've been calling people Kip left and right.
Kylie said they've been trying to set up a race rally, whatever the fuck that means. Trying to get the Kips out of Revachol before the economy goes to shit. Sure there is. Kylie said they're bulk purchasing confetti. Ribbons, too.
Get the fuck out of here, you...
What happened? We got absolutely wiped. Let's go before it gets...
What's going on? Are you racist now? Is the rally real? Please don't set up any rally. It will make you...
Can I help you? What? Yes, the bird.
Are you sure? It's as if he can't.
Why on earth did you have to break the skewer?
Attend.
All right. Did she say anything else? About me, you know? Did she say anything about me? Red. Thanks, I guess.
Or can you give him a moment? You see a heavy steel door.
I've got nothing to say to you. Why are you...
Yes? What do you want to know? Ah, yes. The case brief you missed. Now I remember. 3 days ago, the RCM Emergencies Desk received a report about a security guard who was found hanged in Martinez. An anonymous caller said there was a dead body behind the Whirling in Rags hostel cafe. During that time, the victim had been stripped of his belongings. The caller did not identify him, but used the word lynching. There is an ongoing labor dispute between the local dock workers and the logistics company Wild Pines. I was told we should approach the death as part of this dispute. They didn't identify themselves in any way. The tone was muffled using a device of some sort. The desk... There's a strong prejudice against involving the RCM in what's seen as union matters. The dock workers' union is the de facto police in Martinez. Now it appears they've started executing too. We cannot allow that. Just to be clear, we are police officers. It's our job to find the killer. That's the case. Uncover and arrest the killer. Good.
Rigorous self-critique. Tarpaulin cloak is still caught on the...
The cloak? I do think it's yours, yes. Well, it doesn't seem...
The cloak looks like a bag of goodies floating in.
I was under the assumption we could ask the leader of this union to help us get this body down. Or it could be that we...
He's thinking you've forgotten where you are again. The man before you is naked.
Fuck does Kuno care? Kuno does...
Kuno, the pig's getting pretty close to me. Looks like it's time for me to go, Kuno. Pig's come to... I'm going away.
What's going on there? Fuck are you trying to pull, pig?
Stay away from me. I'll die before I squeal, pig. I come from the woods, good Davidu. You don't want to go there with me. You...
Don't be traumatized.
I'll die before I squeal, pig. Murder was the case they gave me. I'll die before I squeal. What's this kid shit? Fucking mind games. I'd rather die.
Get the...
I'll die before I squeal, pig. You don't want to fuck with me. I got my hands bloody.
You can still see the top. Inside, you see a set of steering levers, a radio microphone.
This is Precinct 57. How may I assist you? It will take...
Her voice is...
Gottlieb, what do you want?
He's carelessly chewing on a piece of hard candy.
Oh, it's you.
Was that a snarl or a suppressed groan? No love for you here.
With all the damage you've been dealing yourself with drugs and alcohol, I'm not surprised.
There is no surprise in his voice. Only careless superior.
What else? I'm not a brain doctor. Look on the bright side. You've got a whole new life.
It's hard to say if he doesn't believe you or doesn't care.
What? You want me to do blood work for you again? Tell you just how bad things really are across the board? You want another rundown of everything collapsing inside your body? You want the real, honest-to-God truth? Stop drinking, eat magnesium and vitamin D. Our station is not our...
So it's political. You're being neglected. The money is probably going to some...
And no, I don't want to hear a political commentary on the topic. In fact, I got work to do. Some idiot has glued his eyelids shut.
It's not fucking cryo-acta latte. It's super glue, Doc.
And you survived it. Even better. Anything else? I wouldn't fire Walker. Oh, yes, you are. Just don't breathe Do exactly that. Put yourself out of your misery. I'm the most serious person at the station, Detective.
Anything else I can help you with, officer?
10-4, come in. Roger that. 10-10, over and out.
Still here. Stuck. Ah, man. Me and narcotics go way back. But those days are behind me. There are other addictions in my life now. Why the inquiry, my man?
We have a credible lead, sir. Someone on this roundabout is waiting for a bulk shipment from the harbor to load it.
Not me, man. No way. I don't need any trouble. Shit's bad enough anyway. This jam's got folks up in arms, and I'm afraid it's headed toward a conflagration. Look, man, I try to stay away from the criminal underbelly of Revachol. I'm a guest here. You really...
It's not a lie. It's something else. Impossible to say what at this point, but there's something in him. The worn and beaten wooden planks of the bench.
We can sit on benches after we...
There. Working class drunk. You know what this means, right? Cracked it. All in a good day's work. What do you mean, what did I crack? Look at how working class that drunk is. No. Stop goofing around. Yes, and you found him. Now go and tell the working class woman. Protect and serve. Do marriages make any sense? Does honor? You're not a filthy philosopher. You're an officer of law. It's time to ace this case. Not honorable recruit. The woman before.
Hello again, sir. Oh, that's Auntie Billy. She's nice if a bit distressed. No, no, sir. I think she is a bad husband. Not very nice or helpful.
You fail to deduce. She waits intently.
It's okay, sir.
A heavy door with a missing handle stands before you, covered in dozens, if not hundreds, of little oddly shaped trinkets and charms. It appears to be locked. Ow. Shoot. Whose moronic idea was it to just...
Are you alright?
What is going on? I walk...
It barely looks like you've done any damage.
You've hurt yourself now. I told you not to mess around back there. What are you even trying to accomplish, you fool? You're only making things worse. Stop it.
Just an ordinary wall. No. Just an ordinary wall. Nothing to see here.
Trying to sneak...
A plaster cast bust depicts a middle-aged man with impressive sideburns. The name on the plinth reads Kraz Marzov.
Whoever lives here definitely shares. There aren't many communists around. Not after the revolution. I suspect that's exactly what they're trying to do. There aren't many communists around. Not after the revolution. It was definitely controversial. The tenant here. There aren't many communists around.
Give me a moment. I'm no one, if you could call it living. I have a little room upstairs right next to the... It's barely bigger than...
Hello again, officers. Have you come to it?
Oh, not only have you found my address, you've discovered my biggest secret. I'm a coal miner. Yes, I keep hoping a shaft will collapse on me, but somehow it never happens. Does anyone?
If there's pain about any particular home she's lost, she's buried it deep, fortified herself.
It doesn't have to do anything at all. Nothing does. Like me. Right now. Shoot, Piggy. It's what you do, isn't it? good? On the contrary, officer. There are yet camioneers you have not talked to. And don't look so surprised. In a time like this, I suggest you go back and...
We're still waiting for a replacement for the bull you sent. Unfortunately, I don't. Unlike most of the locals, I have no qualms about assisting law enforcement. In Martinez, the union is the law, so can you really blame them? Cop is a pejorative term. I don't have a problem with policemen. On the contrary, I admire the effort to bring order to... If I knew, I would not be afraid to tell you. I simply don't. I'm an old man, not a coward. The daily business...
This is a man with a lot of past, but little present, and almost no future.
Yes. The terrain here provides an interesting variety to a familiar game. No. It was left by heavy artillery fire. Why what? Because that's what happens when communards hijack your country, execute your supreme leadership, and turn your capital into a slaughterhouse. You use heavy ordnance to clean up your home. Sadly, no. It was the foreigners who brought them to their knees. We fought valiantly. Too valiantly. So valiantly we got licked. Should have fought dirty, like they did with their suicide sex cult propaganda and mad anarchist women strapped to shrapnel bombs. We didn't though, and we lacked caliber. God bless him, but the suzerain's cannons simply weren't big enough. Because this place is a damn beachhead. And to soften the commies... Yes, the military coordinated amphibious landing to take back Revachol.
finds your lack of historic knowledge troubling. A sign of mental...
Martinez was used as one of the 3 footholds in Revachol during Operation Deathblow in 08. The other 2 are off in Stella Maris and the Delta. This here is Blood Ground, where Coalition boots first made landfall and cleaned those rabid dogs out. Most likely, we're playing pétanque on their mangled corpses.
Blood Ground. You got old René going there. Like he isn't hungry enough already.
Damn right, son. They laid the fire of hell on the city before they stormed it. And it worked, too. The rest of the city got cleaned up, but Martinez they keep as a monument. And now the Union Socialists are practically running the place.
Well, it's your own damn fault. You, we, the Coalition, Revachol, whoever you want to blame, never finished the job. Officially, the party never surrendered.
You don't even begin to truly understand the players on the table, let alone the specific circumstances surrounding the...
Thinking men have opinions on these things. Present one.
I'm sorry it had to be them. After 8 years of fighting those hyenas, boiling cats for food and drinking piss in the mountains, I would have preferred if the Right Honorable King Guillaume returned through Revachol, or even if that damn clan Frissel had risen from the grave and led us. Sadly, that was not the case.
This royal failure weighs heavily on him.
Instead, all that is just, holy, and beautiful in the world was wiped away, and now it's neon signs with toothpaste ads everywhere. Foreign influence peddling garbage and This is just what the commies wanted. This was their plan all along. This is what they wanted to replace the role of the suzerain with. Damn Frissel. He was a king we couldn't protect. The Carabineers failed him, and the crown. He died in the hands of the Hyperlay, in a very public execution. A true king in both blood and mind led Revachol before Frissel. He would have been better, but the damn the suzerain is the king! Has everyone forgotten already?
Soon, they will forget everything. Him.
It's no use talking to you. You were still in Daddy's balls when it happened. When we took our last stand against the filth and rode the cavalry straight into gunfire.
All you observe is a veteran refusing to let go of the past and his old uniform. This is not uncommon.
This is the uniform of the Royal Carabineers in service of Frissel I, Guillaume le Lion, and the valiant King Philip the...
Don't you mean Frissel the Fan?
You do not speak his name, Craven, although he was a clown. But he was...
There's something you missed. You will get to it. Don't worry.
I have really outdone myself.
Yes, That's what you need, Gaston.
René, it's a little pleasures. Life doesn't need to be a struggle. Hello, officer. How might I be of assistance on this fine day? Let me think. I heard someone was hanged and left on a tree for a week. No, officers, I'm sorry.
Then help them, you wimp. You have plenty of shoulder with your gauche caviar in the Union.
I wish I could, but I just don't know anything.
Respect!
I'm not even anyone.
Of course he's holding back. His mouth is so full of Union prick he can't even speak properly.
Can I at least finish my fucking sentence before you piss on it? Is that okay, René? I'm not anyone important in the Union. I just know Evrard. Everyone in Martinez knows the Clare brothers.
What do you know about history? You never witnessed history. Only heard about it years later, when it had already moved on. You don't know.
The old soldier mumbles something under his breath. There he stands.
Let's try not to get caught in a crossfire.
Lest we leave riddled with bullet holes. This animosity is ancient.
Oh, in many ways, yes. Like an honorary member. I attend meetings and parties. Help with... Oh, yes. Not in the technical sense. I don't have a vote or a membership card. But Evrard keeps me on the payroll.
Of course he's not a member. He's not a member of anything. I knew that. He's a Vezavein. I hate this socialist rabble. But even siding with them is better than living your entire life on the fence. Never committing to anything.
Writing work mostly. Occasionally, he needs something written, and I happen to have a way with words. Oh, nothing official, I assure you. Just a sec.
Well, he tells his little pen man exactly what to say.
No, thank you. Sure, officer. No, I'm sorry, officer, but
The only one you have.
Oh, that's good. That's very good. You must have other business then?
A man so principled about his sandwich calls for a too late. That is already fighting the bad fight. Make it stick. Say one of these fascist or communist things or fuck off. Whoa! Easy there, Goldmouth. He doesn't have to say anything. Re-engage cop mode and bail out, if you like.
All right. Let's hear them, officer.
Good. What can I help you with? I suggest you go back and until you come up with something at that intersection. I'm afraid I have little else to tell you, but I'll try. The two.
Or not. Though, if you have evidence.
As eager as I am.
She simply nods.